knowledge even. Because you can see faces of purity in villages amongst the simplest people. And one of the things about us that should prevent us from any type of arrogance or spiritual superiority is that most of us are not even practicing the Islam of the most common people in the villages of the Muslim lands. I mean, if you go to Mauritania, I can show you people that nobody in Mauritania thinks anything of. And they do a juz of Quran every morning and every night. They do the ma'thurat of the Prophet every morning and every night. They fast the 3 days of the month, every month. They give whatever little sadaqah they have to give, which is a lot more than what most of us do, because for him a quarter is like $100 to us or more. And this is a ammi, it's just a simple Muslim, nothing special there. So that's the type of age we're living in, when people that do a little start thinking that they really are something. Part of having taqwa is that you don't fall into those traps, because the self by its nature is deceptive. It's constantly trying to deceive you. I mean, it's the nature of the self. The self is delusional. And there's a psychology of self-delusion which is very interesting and worth reading, and I would recommend for people that are interested in this, and I think everybody should be interested in it, I would recommend reading Daniel Gorman's book called Simple Truths, Vital Lies, The Psychology of Self-Deception, because one of the things that he points out in there is that groups are completely delusional. Groups enter into delusional states, and individual delusion is actually less dangerous than group delusion. Because once groups become delusional, it's very difficult to break it. So we're living in a country that's in a delusional group state. We live in a country, people are in a delusion, a group delusion, about how they perceive themselves in terms of what they're actually doing, what we are actually doing. We. I mean, I'd like to say that I'm not part of all this, but I am. And so for me to set myself outside of it is really the height of arrogance. What we are doing here, what we as a people are doing collectively. And we're in a delusional state. The Muslims are in a delusional state, complete delusional state. So groups become very delusional. And if you study the Quran, and I would do this as an exercise, read the Quran one time as an exercise. If you don't read Arabic, read it in English. As an exercise in looking at group delusional states. And what you will find is every single prophet was an individual that confronted a delusional group. Every single one of them. It's one individual going up against a deluded group. And they always want to kill him. I mean, that's the thing about groups. If you're not with us, you're against us. And that is a delusional state, because nothing in this world works like that. That is Manichaean. It's actually a theological fallacy that was rejected by the Christians through St. Augustine and by the Muslims through Abu al-Hasan, because the Muslims called them the Qadariyah. And that was an early group in Islam, the Qadariyah, who put everything black and white. There's good and evil. I'm good, therefore you're evil. That's the way it worked. And it's not like that. If it was like that, we wouldn't have to face the evil in ourselves. And what Raghib Isbahani says is that anything that you see in other people is actually either manifest in you clearly to other people looking at you, or is hidden in you like fire in flint. In other words, given the right situation, it'll come out. Because as he is human, you are human. And that's why once you start realizing that, you become less judgmental about people out there. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, what did he say? Umirtu an ahkum bil-dhawahir. I was commanded to judge outwardly. I don't judge people's hearts. It's not my business. Only God can do that. So if I see somebody do something wrong, I can condemn the outward action. The inward reality, I don't have any authority over it. It's not my business. Because I don't know. There's too many variables. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can work that out.